guys, it's Kathy, dietitian from Nutritiously Simple, jumping in here real quick just to go over a few quick things. I plan on in the next couple days getting on here live a little bit more often. I was gone, now I'm back, but then I'm going again. So I just wanted to go through a couple quick things. So one thing I would say is I think you guys are all doing great. Try not to beat up on yourself. If you see the numbers not changing on the scale, don't let that number on the scale be the determining factor of where you think you are in terms of nutrition and health and wellness and things like that. Just go by how you feel, see how you feel. Are your pants feeling different? Do you feel better? Do you have more energy? Things like that. So let's focus on that a little bit. What I want to do really quickly while I'm in here is I'm going to show you. So last week we talked about balancing your plate. So I'm going to show you a little putting this together for my actual lunch, right? So I work at home most days of the week. So sometimes I just have to figure out what can I throw together to have lunch as I continue to work. One thing I would say with lunchtime, try to make sure that you step away from your desk. If you work at home like me, that just means walk away from the computer for a while so that you get a few minutes of me time, which is totally an acceptable thing to do. So let's talk about how I balance this out. Let's try to work smarter, not harder. Don't make your life harder than it needs to be, right? So I was looking, what do I have? I'm always trying to look at that balance because remember there's those four groups you're always trying to get on your plate. So like whole grains and starchy vegetables is part of it. Then your protein, and for me it's plant-based protein because I am a plant-based eater, so I don't eat any meat. And then the other part's veggie, right? And then a little bit of fruit if you can get that in too. So sometimes, especially in the morning's chaotic, or you're just trying to throw something together. So let me show you what I did. I found in my pantry, I had this little Suddenly salad thing. So I looked at it, it's Suddenly salad Tuscan grains. So what does it have in it? I'll show you. The first thing they have you do, and all this is whole grain, that's all it is. It's got brown rice, quinoa, and wheat berries in it. And I just cook those up, and then you rinse, it comes in a little bag, and then I just rinsed it off and under cold water because this is like a cold salad, so I put that in there. Then for my protein, now on the box it doesn't call for any protein. It actually came with some almond slivers, which I don't think I'm going to throw in there today. So for me, I thought, well, I could have tons of different varieties of beans, canned beans and things like that. So I took some black-eyed peas, as you can see there, and I'm just going to put that can, I rinsed them off, and I'm just dumping that can in there. Now you can see everything's real brown. So what I wanted to do is let's get a little color in there. So I chopped up some peppers. You can see my little rainbow of colors of peppers. So I'm gonna stir those in there too. So we'll throw that in. You can see it's getting a little more colorful as we speak. So now I have, right, I have my protein, I have my veggie in here, and I have my whole grain. So I've got 3 of those 4 groups already in here. Now I'm probably not gonna add fruit into this, but you could put some sort of dried fruit, like maybe you put in craisins, or you put in dried apricots, or whatever you enjoy, you could put in there too to have a little bit of a sweet taste in there. Maybe I will throw some craisins in there too, you never know. So put that in, stir it up. Otherwise, you know, you could always round out with, again, keep it simple. Don't make life harder than it needs to be. So you could even use just a little old applesauce cup. That's half a cup, that's a serving of fruit, or have a piece of fresh fruit that comes in Nature's package, which has got the peel and everything, throw it in your bag. So you could put this, say about a cup of it maybe, put it in a little container with a piece of fruit, and you've got all 4 of those food groups in there to balance your plate out. Now, this came with, here's my other little hint. So this week's recipes, which we'll get to more, I'm probably gonna pop back in here on Friday. Tomorrow, I'm gonna pop in here with Logan, and I'm gonna put a post in here. So I want you guys to put questions that you wanna ask Logan and I. So you can ask the dietitian and ask the trainer, and let's see what we can do to help you make more forward movement in your progress. So this actually came with a packet of dry ingredients so that you could make the dressing. So this, again, was from the Suddenly Solid Tuscan Grains. So it had the dry stuff, so I didn't have to necessarily put that together. It called to mix it with oil and water. I didn't use oil, I actually used aquafaba, which is the juice or the liquid part off of any kind of bean. It could be like I just used it off of the black-eyed peas, but it could be from chickpeas, it could be from black beans, whatever. It was only 2 tablespoons, but it cut the fat down then. So, and super high in fiber this dish will be, because both of the black-eyed peas and all the whole grain that's in it too. So I'm just gonna pour some of this in. I may not use all of it. What I usually do is kind of eyeball it a little bit, and then I'll see if I need to add some more or not. I don't want to pour it all in there and then have it be kind of a goopy mess, you can see. So I've got about half in. I'll probably pour a little bit more in. You could add garlic. You could add any veggies you like. I just kind of grabbed what I had in my refrigerator. There we go. So you can see it's an easy way, right, to get 3 of those 4 food groups in. Like I said, I will be back on Friday. I'll go over some of the recipes. 2 of those recipes actually are made with my favorite little mason jars. So I love to use mason jars like this. I just put the ingredients in, shook it up, makes it super easy. Then you can store it in the fridge if you need to. So this is all about keeping it simple, right? So this week though, the topic, and I just updated or put the module out today. So the topic this week, right, is the other things that go in or factor into what causes us to eat one way or the other, whether it's eating too much, too little, all that negative self-talk that you oftentimes have in your head. So also being more mindful of what we do. So kind of sitting down and actually tasting the food, taking a breath, eating the food, things like that. So I want you to make sure you watch, consume the content is what I would tell you. Because if you don't consume the content, it makes it harder to move forward. I don't know if you know this, but I can see it when you complete, when you check that you did it. And sometimes some people do it real fast, like within 5 minutes of it being released. So it's not a contest. Just go ahead and take your time with it. You've got all week, right, before anything new comes out. So you guys take care, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow with Mr. Logan. Bye-bye.